championship. And here we go. Lowry looks in. Inbound. Over to Sturz. Lowry three. That one misses. Rebound down to KCP. 8 seconds left to go. Casey's across the timeline. And he'll dribble it out. The 47-year wait is over. The Denver Nuggets stand on top of the NBA world. They are champions. And Nuggets fans from sea to shining sea can rest or die in peace.
Oh my God.
What's going on, y'all? It is your boy, Cool McCain. We back. Same show, different name, the Courtside View. Your view from the courtside with your peoples. And I am joined by two illustrious men who knows put basketball very well. On my side here, I got my man, Coach Dante, a.k.a. the Sports Library. What's going on, Coach Dante?
Hey, what's going on, man? I should have saw it. I just seen you a few minutes ago, man. I just saw it.
I think so, bro. I think so. And then below me and Coach Dante, I wanted to make sure he had his own area. You know what I'm saying? The man, the myth, the legend himself, the con man. Con man, what's going on?
What's going on, y'all, man? Looking forward to tonight, man.
Hey, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's always been. We here talking NBA. Premiere episode. It won't be the last one, but it's the first one. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know one of the things that we always like to do, we're going to dive in. Let's talk about the standards. People say, why you talk about the standards? What else is everything judged by? You feel me?
Exactly.
Right? The standards, what is it? You know? So let's get into these standards here. I done went too far. Y'all give me a minute. I done went too far and got away from where I should be. I just got to get away from that. See, what it did was they changed everything, y'all, because of the in-season tournament. You know why I'm pulling this up? Coach and Con, just give y'all a quick minute each. Y'all just give any thoughts y'all had on the in-season tournament. Anything you want to say about the in-season tournament?
You can go ahead, Con.
Well, you know why they did it, to try to stir some more excitement from the players, so there wouldn't be all this low management, and of course, incentive is also money. I enjoyed it. I mean, talent is great. It was pretty good, but also there's some after effects because look how the Lakers are playing now. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching competitive basketball. To be honest, there was a lot of competitive basketball in the in-season tournament. It really was. You know, the Pacers coming out, going to the in-season tournament, and guess what? Look how they looking. Ever since they lost that game versus the Lakers, they've been really good. They've been really hot. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks 4 out of the 4 times already so far, and that seemed like a legit problem. Not saying that in the playoffs, I think the Bucks probably will make an adjustment in the playoffs, but again, I actually liked the in-season tournament. I actually think that it was a lot of competitive games in there. Doesn't mean I like the strategy overall of going with it, but it was some competitiveness in the in-season tournament, especially the way we'll get to the Lakers in a minute where they're playing. That looked like their championship right there. They celebrating raising the banner up, and now you got a problem with the coach Darvin Ham, with the players. You got all kinds of goddamn problems in LA right now.
I'm with it, Coach. I'm 1,000% with it. So yeah, I just say, man, the games themselves, I will say the players took them seriously, and that was my question. Like, how were they going to take them? I will say the players took the game seriously. They went out, tried to play hard. Everybody wanted to be the first champion, right? LeBron did it. Now, obviously, he has a drive unlike anybody else. That's why that man is 39 and still playing. I wouldn't say peak physical form, but very good, physical form to be his age. So for him to be the first, I know that's something that he's probably very proud about within himself. You know, I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I understand why they did it, and it was solid basketball. A lot of the courts gave me a headache, but
Right? Yeah.
that's a whole different thing. But it was more successful, I think, than I gave it credit to have a chance to be. You know, so I will say that as far as people being involved, people watching, they got a lot of people that don't necessarily watch basketball like a guy like me or y'all do, and kind of got them involved. So I like that aspect of it. Very excited. I hope it's something that continues to be a part of that. But in that, I don't want changes. I don't want if you win it, you get a guaranteed spot at least in the playing tournament. Don't do any of that. Just let them play. They get their championship, they get their coins, and then they go back to their regular season games. That's what we need to happen.
I hear you.
Else, Adam Silver, don't do it. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. So we now got the standings up. Everything's all good. So we'll start in the conference, the worst team, which is the Detroit Pistons at 3-31. Now the Detroit Pistons are so historically bad. They tied a record for most losses in a row at 28. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about Detroit. Like, this is a really bad team. Uh, Coach, what you got for Detroit, man? Like, 3-31, like they just terrible.
Well, it got something to do with the roster construction and Coach Monty Williams. It also show, like I said, when you go to a team like that, you coming from a team like Phoenix, who you had in the championship a couple of years ago, and then had competing in the playoff spot, and then you go to another team that's very young, that's very young, and then you sit in Jaden Ivey on the bench, someone that was a big piece of their core last year. You start off wrong by throwing him on the bench. That was the wrong move. All of a sudden, you want to start. You don't play. You want to start playing Marvin Bagley, someone that's not really that good anymore. Someone like a Jaden Ivey. You're having problems with Jalen Duren staying healthy a little bit. Cade Cunningham. I wouldn't be surprised 2 years from now if he acts out. But goes on the front office as well, because again, you gave him all that goddamn money, and you are 3-31, and I don't know if it was more Monty Williams not knowing what he was walking into, but they paid him all that money just to coach a 3-31 team. Now I didn't think they would be this bad. I thought they would be improved this year. I thought Cade Cunningham was turning up another level. The problem is, like I say, they don't have too much talent as all, but this also could show how good of a coach you are as well. Look at Coach Ime Udoka. Coming from Boston, going to Houston, changing that culture around. That's what I'm talking about great coaches elevating other guys. And it don't seem Monty Williams doing that too well. And I think that Pistons front office got really desperate, paying him all that money. He turned down the first offer. So they really got desperate, paid him all that money. Because what you going to do? You're damn sure not for the fire him, because you still got to pay him. And you want to talk about trading all these guys like Alec Burks and Boban. You train all these guys, and you don't know what the hell to do with draft picks anyway. You don't know what you're doing with draft capital anyway. So you just like wasting draft capital. But this is a mess. I really do think Burks and Boban deserve better. They do deserve to go somewhere else. But the way the Pistons use draft capital, I don't trust them to use the draft capital the way everybody said. I don't expect them to use the draft capital well. That's all I'm saying. But this is a mess, man. This is a mess. And I believe it has something to do with the coaching, Monty Williams, and the roster. And I don't know if Monty Williams said, what the hell I got myself into now, being 3-31. You supposed to be a great coach, a good coach in this league, and you're 3-31 in the Eastern Conference, where it's really not that good at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. You're 3-31 as a coach that went to the Western Conference Finals because you had a Chris Paul, Devin Booker emerging, and Jay Crowder. You had a veteran team. But this is, to me, like I said, when you show, is you a great coach or not? Can you go somewhere else and elevate talent? And like I say, he goes to the Detroit Pistons, and they're 3-31 his first year. Look at Coach Ime Udoka. He goes from a finals team. He sits out a year, And you see how much that hurt that Boston team. He comes to Houston, look where we are, just as I expected. So again, Monty Williams, again, it's an absolute shit shell in Detroit. It's a combination of the coaching, the front office, and the players not as being good. Like a Marvin Bagley, not as good. Marvin Bagley, not good at all. You had Jaden Ivey on the bench who was frustrated with his role pretty much, and he shouldn't be on the bench. He should be a starting a shooting guard, point guard in the league because the way he plays. It's just an overall missed the rotations and an overall mess over there in Detroit.
Want to add anything to that, Con?
You know, Coach Dante always wants to say what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? This got to stop for real. But you know, Detroit was my team back in the day. Isaiah is my dude. That's my dog. And right now, all them dudes are probably flipping out because they have set a standard, and the way the Pistons are playing right now is terrible. It's embarrassing to the league. And they hired a Monty, and like Coach said, they're paying him big bag, and he's not coming through. I think they had high expectations of Detroit and him as well. And the thing about it, fellas, is check this out. Who's going to want to go play for Detroit? You know what I'm saying? So they are in a bad situation. I don't know what's going to happen, but it don't look good at all. And it's embarrassing to the league. It's embarrassing to the players. And look how much more players left. So I don't know how they're going to keep up their enthusiasm, and it could be detrimental to the team for a couple of years.
I mean, as a professional team, I mean, like I say, you're 3-31. That is an embarrassment to the goddamn league. That make it seem like this franchise don't even need to be in the damn league the way they're losing games and dropping games and how they're losing them. That's an embarrassment. I mean, you have one of the most young, talented teams. Cade Cunningham is talented. Jalen Duren is talented. Jaden Ivey is talented. You have talent on that roster, and you're only 3-31. Especially what gets me, the bottom of the East is not even that really good.
Not at all.
Not really that good, and you're 3-31. That's an embarrassment to this organization. That's embarrassment to NBA, period. That you have a team 3-31. 3-31 for Monty Williams to go over there as one of the respectable head coaches in the NBA, and you're 3-31 with Detroit, someone that's supposed to be a leader, man, that turn organizations around. That just shows what type of coach you really are, that you're not as good of a head coach as everybody think you are. If you're, like I say, you can go over there with the Phoenix Suns and have Chris Paul, Jay Crowder and all them. I mean, you're supposed to be good with that type of talent. But where your real coaching is going to come out at is going to when you like Detroit. If you elevate that team, if that team was the same way, had the same record like the Rockets, that would be more respect because he elevated that roster. That as good as they shouldn't be, elevated that roster. That just shows you, hey, you're kind of an overrated head coach. Now it's easy to get to the final. It's not easy to get to any type of final. But when you have Chris Paul, one of the best leaders in the NBA, when you have Devin Booker who get 28 points per game, Jay Crowder who's been a part of a championship roster in a Western Conference, in a tougher Western Conference. You're supposed to get to the title game with that team. You're supposed to be able to break. But when you go over somewhere else and want to try to elevate young guys, and the young guys are frustrated about their roles, that is on the coaching right there, not using the right, not putting them in a rotation the right way. That should show what type of coach that you that you really ain't as good of a coach that you think you really are, that going over there. And then you turn down the first offer, but then they put more money on the table. They put more money on the table before you took it. That means you had second guess what if you want to coach that team or not.
Agree.
Hey, I mean, I ain't really got to add nothing to that. Those Dante that came with the flames on them boys. And I say it a lot. He's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know, we normally just go through by tiers, but this team was so bad. We had to pull them out and just talk about them by themselves. All I can add is do better. Monty do better. Players do better. It's one thing to lose, but it's another thing to lose on the record pace. You got to turn the thing around some. We got to at least be decent about it. Come on, Detroit.
I mean, in the Eastern Conference, you losing 28 straight goddamn games. Now, I understand you playing some Western Conference team, but ain't no way in the world you should be losing in The Eastern Conference ain't that good when you got Charlotte, when you got Orlando is up and coming. Orlando is up and coming, but you should be able to compete with Orlando. You should be able to somehow have some resistance. But Brooklyn Nets, the way they're playing right now, they're a bad basketball team too. You mean to tell me you can't compete with Brooklyn at this point? That's just an shame and embarrassment to Detroit and to the fan base right there. It's the damn bottom of the damn Eastern Conference, and you not a competitive basketball team. As good a coach you are, you got good enough talent. You got a good enough talent to compete in the bottom of the Eastern Conference. It's just a shame for the Detroit fans, and I feel bad for them because again, they deserve better for this team. They deserve better for this team to be down in 3-31. NBA professional basketball team looking like a goddamn college team out there, or high school team out there.
One of two teams over 20 games back already. Of course, the other being in the next group of teams we're going to talk about. So at 6-27, we have the Washington Wizards. At 8-24, we have the Charlotte Hornets. At 14-20, we have the Toronto Raptors. And at 15-21, we have the Chicago Bulls.
We talking about that Washington team that can't stop nobody. They give up 150 points damn near a game. I think they're going to be active during the trade deadline. I think they need to be. They need to just strip everything down. Just go. I'm sorry about laughing, but this is so bad, man. How many bad teams we got in basketball, especially at the most of the bad teams are in the Eastern, bottom of the Eastern Conference.
And most of them beat up on each other, but everybody beat up on Detroit.
When they play Detroit, they are better than Detroit. That's one thing about it. But again, you can't stop nobody on the defensive side of the ball. Again, I think Kyle Kuzma, he's going to be traded. He's going to be traded at the trade deadline. I think you really need to unleash him. Tyus Jones, an underrated guard. I think he will be available during the trade deadline as well. I think he's a very good guard that most championship contenders or playoff contenders would want to have. But it's a mess, man. And
hey, Coach, can I add one quick comment in there? Okay, one quick comment. I know one person they will not be trading because in order to trade somebody got to want them, and that's Jordan Poole. You just showed up 5 games all year. 5 games all year. That's the only time we see you.
Some problems. Yeah, he got some problems.
Oh my God, it's just laughable, man. Most of these Washington Wizards, Detroit people. It's just so bad. I don't understand how you that bad, but the problem all year been for the Wizards, their defense. Their defense can't just stop. They can't stop us 3 out there. We went out there and played. That's just how bad that defense is. I mean, you getting up over 140 points every night. You're supposed to lose every goddamn game. You deserve to lose every goddamn game. And you're gonna get the coach fired like that. You're gonna get the coach fired like that, not going out there and competing, playing defense. You're not good enough to outscore teams each and every night. So again, I just think same thing in the Pistons, but they're better. The only thing Pistons are just worse, much more worse than Washington.
You know something, you're right. But defensively, there's things you can do to at least make you a little bit better. You can rotate better. You can play defensive. You can go zone. You can do something to play better defense. Get your rotation together, and they're not doing anything. They're giving up layups in the paint, out the paint, and it's a damn mess, man. It's a damn mess.
Listen, man, when you look at these bottom teams, right, there's one thing you have in common with Washington, Charlotte, Toronto, and Raptor, and Chicago. I first want to pull out Charlotte. Yeah, you got 8 wins. That's all well and good. That's fine. You got to win. You're 1-9 in your last games. So you ain't much better. You're the one with the top losing streak right now. But this is what I want to say. I said this in the offseason. Charlotte, you made the wrong pick, and you're going to do the same thing you do every time you have a top pick. You set yourself back because you won't pick the best player available. Where's LaMelo Ball? Hurt. Who did you not want to draft? Because you thought he can't play. I don't know about playing him with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball's hurt. LaMelo Ball, every year he's been in the league, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
So why not go get another guy that can do some of the things he can do and also play alongside him? Why? Because it made sense. And just like the other Charlotte team, you don't want to make sense.
Right.
Charlotte is cursed. I don't know what y'all have done in this city. but you are bad in both sports. Record bad in both sports. Thankfully for you, the Washington Wizards have two guys who don't want to step up. The 5 games that Jordan Poole played well, Kyle Kuzma turned into Jordan Poole. And that's why Washington got 6 wins. In Detroit, we just got through talking about how bad they are. Toronto, they didn't gave up. They didn't trade OJ Anunoby. Siakam's probably going to be gone next. They're going to bring in some guys. They brought in RJ Barrett for the local fans to be happy because he's a Toronto kid, Colorado guy, so he'll be happy being back in Toronto. And then Chicago. Every week we hear about who you're going to trade to the Lakers or who you're going to trade here, who you're going to trade there. So you're not happy with your team either. So there's a reason you're all at the bottom, and the reason is you don't have a properly constructed team to win in the NBA. It's just that simple. It's sad.
And they're talking about Levine going to the Lakers. He makes too damn much money. I mean, to go put that, and he's always injury prone. That would not be a good move. So
I'm gonna say what Boobie Cousins said. I agree completely with Boobie Cousins. If the Lakers are gonna grab somebody, you need to grab DeMar Rosen, and you need to grab my man that was there before. I forgot his name. The dude that was on the Lakers before, the white kid.
Oh yes, with the headband.
Yeah, Alex Caruso. You need to grab those two because Caruso's going to get a defense. DeRozan can be your third scorer. He can step up if AD's out, if LeBron's out, if they off. So that would be 2 pieces that would help the Lakers. The Lakers got a bunch of pieces they can give up after the 15th of January. That's when they can trade some of those people that they brought in free agency.
Right.
And of course, you probably have to add some draft picks to it. But if I'm Chicago, I make that move depending on what they're trying to send me back. Because you can get better and you can get rid of some pieces that aren't working for you. Mm-hmm. Alex Caruso was a great piece of LA. In Chicago, he's all right. I mean, he's not terrible because defense goes wherever. But he doesn't have a chance to make the shots. He doesn't have the same caliber of player around him, so he's not the same caliber of player. He's asked to be higher on the pecking order as far as creating your own shot on offense, doing different things that he may not be comfortable with. Put him back on the Lakers, get him back with LeBron. It allows him to kind of be the player he wants to be. So, just my thoughts.
We were talking about the Lakers, right?
Well, we're talking about the Bulls. We're going to get to the Lakers, coach.
Oh, yeah.
I got you. Okay. We're going to get to the Lakers. I got you. I know you're ready for them. I got you.
I'm about almost ready for them. But other than that, Chicago Bulls, I thought like it ain't no way in the world with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. You should be playing a tournament team. You should be really bad. You should be really in the playing team. You should be good enough to make a playoff. But I think the Bulls are doing the right thing. I think they need to tear it down. You see how Kobe White turned out to be. He turned out to play some really good basketball. Even Patrick Williams getting really better. So I think the best thing to do, and I think you need to trade Vuka as well. Trade Vuka, just unload, go full rebuild mode. But the problem with the Chicago Bulls, you got to be able to draft well. It ain't gonna be no good if you tear it down, if you don't draft well. So you got to draft well. And what you call it? I mean, people was on the road of trading Kobe White before everything else. But you see how he's playing when he's playing productive minutes. You see how he turned out, how good of a shooter he is, and how is making his game better. And you seeing how Patrick Williams is developing really good and everything. So I think the right move for the Bulls is to tear it all down and trade your top 3 guys and see where you go from there.
I feel it. So we got some comments here, fellas. So we're gonna go ahead and drop on those real quick. All right. So Key says, "Oh snap," and then Key says, "The 3 C's in the house: Cool, Con, and Coach." Let's get it. And then Mo was in the building. Mo says, "Guys, what up, Mo?"
What up, Mo?
Mo with maybe the funny comment.
No.
The Pistons are even bad on NBA Yo. Oh, he ain't finished. We're going to get to it. He ain't finished. Then Key says they're trying to get Siakam. And then she says they terrible too. Talking about I was talking about the Hornets. And then Mo says, feel sorry for Siakam. Key says Kuz is the best player. Mo says Pistons can't play dead. Hey, yo, that's not even the dirtiest thing, bro. He then says Kuzma as a sixth or seventh man can help a contender.
Hmm.
I can't argue with you, Mo.
Oh,
The way he's played so far this season, my bro. Like, what I'm gonna say? Nah, Mo, because of what he did 3 years ago. I can't argue with
no.
you.
Yeah.
He says Melo need to get out of Charlotte. Melo need to get out of his gene pool and get him some therapy on them bones because all them boys is brittle.
Mm-hmm.
Mo says Pooh's stealing money. He definitely stealing money. Pooh should be arrested for stealing money.
Mm-hmm.
And he says the same thing. Facts, Mo arrest him for robbery. Mo's a Laker fan. Mo says Levine, no thank you. I feel that. He says Caruso, appreciate that. And then Mo says Lakers don't have the best trade package for Chicago. They don't, but it's the Lakers. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's the Lakers. We know how that go. So we're gonna do it differently, y'all. We're gonna now go to the worst teams in the West here. Talk about it. They don't have no team that's as bad as Detroit. They do have a 5-win San Antonio, but their star is a rookie, and he is a lightweight. So we know that some of the things gonna happen. But we do have some teams. I'm sure Coach Dante and the Con man got a few thoughts on. So we got the San Antonio Spurs at 5-29. Then right above them, we got the Portland Trailblazers at 9-24.
Mm-hmm.
So Portland got more wins with injuries because they actually drafted Scoot Henderson than the Hornets team who wouldn't draft him. But I digress. Memphis Grizzlies are 11-23, and they've been on the street. They've been 5-5 since they got the man back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We talk about him in basketball might just be Ja. And then the Utah Jazz are 16-19. And then right above them, below the cutoff line, the Golden State Warriors. We ain't heard them being there in a long time at 16-18. So, Coach Dante, we got to let you unleash a little fury here. What are your thoughts on any or all of those teams that are below the 10 spot?
Like I said, I expected San Antonio and Portland to be where they at. Like you said, they actually drafted Scoot Henderson. And when your mascot is not happy about your draft pick, that just tells you something bad about how bad your organization been. Charlotte, when your mascot is not putting his head down, not even happy about the draft pick, that should tell you really something right there. But other than that, I expected San Antonio. I didn't expect San Antonio to be this bad, but I didn't expect them to only win 5 games. I thought they would be better with the talent. Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, who can really shoot the lights out. Zach Collins being healthy. I thought they would really be a better team. It just shows you, man. Like when you come to the NBA, Vic, hey, Big Vic, it's a big difference, man. For when you over there playing overseas, you ain't the man. You ain't the man no more. It's totally different. You ain't the guy that's gonna come elevate a squad. But it only takes Big Vic to elevate a squad. It takes a team and the coaching staff to elevate a squad in. I expected Portland them to be just right where they at. I think Utah's doing a good job, man. I think Utah is really right where they should be. 16-19, that's not bad. Around the West, especially, you heard of some rumblings that Collins wasn't happy, but whatever team he goes to, he's never happy. Whatever team he goes to, John Collins, he's never happy with team.
And people still keep trading for him.
He still keep trading for him. And if he doesn't, the moment he doesn't touch the ball, he ain't happy. So I don't know if he ain't happy in that situation, Atlanta situation, I don't know what team would make him happy. So other than that, I expected them to be right where they are. They may make a few moves in the offseason, trade deadline, maybe trade a Jordan Clarkson or something like that. He's been on trade block for so long, but I like where they at. Walker Kessler is really good, man. That dude is a really good center that you got from us, that you stole in the trade in Minnesota. That was a complete robbery by Danny Ainge. They very, very much, he's one of the better young rim protectors and players in the league. So I like where Utah at.
And I will say, if you want to trade John Collins somewhere, you trade him to Detroit. He'll get lots of minutes there. He'll be happy.
That's true. That's definitely true.
plenty of points, reps, everything for you there, Pippen. Everything. You probably don't want to go there, but it's there. Coach Dante, I know you got something to say about the Golden State Warriors, so please let us have it.
Oh, here we go.
Like I say, Golden State. Like I say, man, I didn't expect them to be this bad, really. But it seemed like Chris Paul ain't too much of a difference maker over there. Guess what? Jonathan Kuminga can be the most talented guard forward in the world. But you know what? He ain't in the right position to put him in now. And you know when you got a Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and all of those guys, and Draymond Green punching everybody and just being a cancer and stuff. Like I say, again, Jonathan Kuminga, if he goes somewhere else, that guy's gonna break out. Moses Moody, you got two. It's bad as when you got one person saying you're not using them right. But when you got two people, like a Moses Moody said, you're not using him, and that guy can shoot really good. I've been watching that guy since he was playing in Arkansas, playing over there in Arkansas, how good that guy is. When you have two guys coming over there, something ain't right in that locker room, then I think something could happen. I think they're available for a trade. But Klay Thompson is not the same Klay Thompson anymore. They don't play very good defense. They just lost a damn 18-point lead with under 6 minutes to Denver. Well, granted, Denver is still the best team in the NBA to me. I think they would get the job done when it mattered the most. But unacceptable if you're up by 18 and you lose at home. You get embarrassed at home by Denver. And after that, that's when you have the problems coming out of Kuminga and Moses Moody say you're not using them right. So at that point, it's almost like you got to trade them guys away because they're clearly not happy. You're clearly holding up their talent. They want to go somewhere else. They want to go somewhere else where they can develop, where they can get better. And I believe if they do, they will get better over there. But Golden State, I think that window is closed. That window is closed, and it will be it will not be long before everybody else start trying to move on. But that organization over there, again, when you got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry over there, and Draymond Green, you're trying to win games. You're not just trying to go into a full rebuild yet. But you also got to realize you can't be a contender forever. You can't be a playoff team forever. At some point, you got to tear it down. And I think Golden State, at some point, they will have to tear it down.
Fair enough. Kyle, man, the floor is all yours, sir. Any thoughts? San Antonio, Portland, Memphis, Utah, Golden State.
Okay, well, San Antonio, I expect them to be where they are right now because there's no pressure right now. They got a 19-year-old kid going to be 20. So, I mean, the pressure's off of them, but I think they're going to end up becoming a better team. So I think give them a couple of years, they'll be all right. Portland Trailblazers, they had a rough start, and hopefully they will improve. I mean, I think Chauncey's a good coach. I think they're going to be okay. Memphis, we all know what happened when they're losing Ja. You can see what a difference he makes when he is present, and hopefully they'll bounce back. He thinks they're going to make the playoffs. Hopefully they will. Now, as far as Utah, they're always tough. They're always going to be. They just can't get there, but they get close, and they're always going to be a formidable team. I think they're going to be, they're going to improve as the year goes on. Okay, Golden State. Oh, Lord have mercy. Golden State, they have so much internal issues. You got Draymond, who I don't know what the hell's wrong with him, but he only picks on the people he can. They have turmoil. I think they might have the most turnovers this year and last year. They make too many damn turnovers, and it's an issue. And they haven't found their true identity yet. And there's a lot of friction, and that's going to cause problems. And then what happens when Green comes back? And Kuminga, as coach was saying, I used to see him in the G League. I knew he had that talent. He got so much talent. And they were talking about he's not getting no rhythm. They gave him 19 minutes, and he was playing real well. And then Coach Kerr sat his ass down, and I'm sure he's wondering what the hell is going on. You got youth. I mean, athleticism, he got everything going, and he don't get no rhythm. So that's going to be an issue. So Golden State, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I really don't know.
I mean, hey, a lot of great points. I mean, I agree with y'all on San Antonio and Portland. They're going to need some time. Memphis is climbing. Like Ja is gonna make such a difference on that team. That team is gonna be the team that we been used to seeing. Everybody's better when they all shift down the spot and Ja's the alpha like he's supposed to be. So we knew that coming in, they were gonna be monkey trash juice, hot doodle juice, and all that until he got back. He back. So that's gonna change. Utah, I agree with Coach Dante 100%. Collins, just send him to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Golden State, them boys don't want to be there, send them to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody disgruntled just seeing people to Detroit. Let them go down there. They don't want to appreciate 16 wins. Let's go deal with 3. You know what I'm saying? And then Golden State. Golden State's problem, and I've been kind of watching them. I've been feeling this way for a couple of years, but I wanted to see if they were going to continue to do it or not. They pick the old guys that were winning, that are long in the tooth, over the young guys who can make them sustain the window, so to speak. Not necessarily still be a championship team, but be one of the better teams in the Western Conference, right? Like Jordan Poole that was a different Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is a different player since he got socked in the face by Draymond Green, right? Because I don't think getting punched hurt him really, but I think everything around it, right? You didn't really have his back. You shipped him off after the season. His numbers were down. Team morale, everything was down. So you had to make a decision at the end of last year. Jordan Poole, Draymond Green. You couldn't keep them both on the team. You went with the long in the tooth guy who's always trouble. And if that's what you feel like you need to do, that's fine. But that's a example of them saying, we're not going to do the young guys. James Wiseman came in, right? Didn't do too well there, but he didn't really get to play either. Any league, I don't care if we're talking soccer, hockey, shoot, professional wrestling, tennis, golf, rugby, softball, bowling, whatever sports you want to pick, basketball, football, baseball, wiffle ball, tennis, whatever. People cannot improve if they're not on the court playing in the actual game situations. You could practice for 10 hours, but when game times comes, if you're always on the bench or in the G League, you're not going to develop. You have to put a guy out there, let him make the mistakes, let him look bad, let him grow. That's what's happening in San Antonio. They're not saying, Victor, we're not going to give you time to develop. If you're not able to play right away, we're going to send you to the G League. We're going to put you on the bench. I know you say, oh, it's not the same situation. Look at the standards. Is it really? Neither one of them are in the playoffs. Why are the young guys not working Golden State all of a sudden? Why? Because you won't let go of the fact that these guys that are older need to start acquiescing, giving up a little bit to these young guys, letting these young guys letting these young guys do what they can do to help this team win. You're trying to still do everything with the same guys, but you're drafting other guys. Don't draft the guys. Trade the draft picks and get other guys if you're not going to develop.
And quiet care, fellas, the general manager bounced. When there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, yeah, you already knew what it was. You're like, this ain't going to work.
That should tell you something right quick. You know what I mean? So
he said, let Mike Dunleavy Jr. deal with this. I'm out.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. So, Coach, you're going to love this, my bro. We're going to stay in the Western Conference. We're going to talk about the next set of teams. So we're going to go 10 through 7. At 10, we got the LA Lakers at 17 and 18. At 9, we got the Phoenix Suns at 18 and 16. At 8, we got the Houston Rockets at 17 and 15. And at 7, we have the Dallas Mavericks at 20 and 15. Importance, these are the 4 teams that for you guys who may not have watched, may have forgotten, maybe new to basketball, these are the guys that would be in what we call the 2 play-in games if the season ended today. So, Coach Dante, you know what? We're gonna keep them in a little suspense. Comment, what do you got on number 10 through 7? Me and Coach Dante, the comment. You ain't even gotta wait. It's all you.
Okay. Well, let's start with the Lakers. All right. They won the little tournament thing. They got, you got their bag and they did the damn thing. But you know something? Again, disarray. When you start losing, problems exist. And the Lakers, for some reason, even though the main guys are playing well, LeBron's doing his thing, and Anthony Davis is playing real well. I think he's having like 30 and 12. They need that third person to come in, and they haven't found it yet. And again, last year they were known as one of the best defensive teams. It's not that same way this year. So there's going to be problems with the Lakers. And now they're talking about getting rid of Ham. Again, controversy exists. And it's going to be tough. Again, it's funny because when they won their tournament, they were talking about extending him. Now they're talking about getting rid of him. So there's an issue there. And of course, there's some in-house problems in the locker room. And if you lose the locker room, you're done. So I don't know if that's true. It's just reports saying that was true. If that don't get corrected, there's going to be problems. And LeBron's already talking smack. So, he's not happy. And when the trade deadline comes, they may improve. They may have to do something, but it's going to be a problem. As far as the Phoenix Suns, a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? They got the talent. They got offensive weapons. Beal is just starting to get back. He's been gone for so long. And they have instant offense. And I think they're going to be all right. But they don't play no damn defense. So that's going to be an issue with them. That's their downfall. You know what I mean? But they're playing a little bit better. So I give them on that one. Now we're going to talk about Coach's team, the Houston Rockets. I mean, they made big changes. I like the way they're playing. They got a great coach. I mean, he even talks smack to LeBron. So I like the way they're playing. They believe in the coach, and he's making a great impact on them. They got some youth, and something, they play high for him. I think they're going to be all right. I think you better watch out for Houston. I like them. And now, Dallas. Dallas is playing pretty good. People are, saying, well, Luka and Kyrie Irving, they're not going to play well together. But yeah, they're doing a damn thing. And like you said, they're 20 and 15. They're playing well. Luka's playing out of his mind. So I think I think they're going to have a positive year. I think they'll make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm not going to talk too much about my Rockets because, like I say, ever since we got Coach Ime Udoka, I expect us to be in that position. When you get new coaching and when you get a coach that's tough and that don't play no damn games, we should be 17 and 15 as of right now. And again, love everything that ever since Houston got their head coaches. Everything's been really, really good. The players believe in them, and the coaches believe in the players. But he also believes you're not going to go out there and play hard. You're going to sit your ass down. Something that the Lakers don't know nothing about playing hard because, again, ever since the in-season tournament, they just don't play hard. They just don't play hard. They just don't get an effort. The defense is just not good. They don't have any type of shooting. Now you're losing. You got all these problems coming out. You got Austin Reeves ain't happy. You got Jared Vanderbilt who can't shoot a lick of basketball. You got Son Reddick. No wonder why not a Son Reddick. What the hell am I talking about? You got Cam Reddish. You got Cam Reddish. People was willing to leave him open in the corner. He can't make a shot to save his life. No wonder why he bounced around in the league. And you got Jackson Hayes. He just out there. Like me and my boy Mo said, he just out there just standing around, ain't really doing nothing. He just out there. Christian Wood, he's a locker room problem guy. I know that because he played in Houston. He couldn't play in Dallas. He couldn't play in Dallas like that. So there's a reason why he's around the league as well. There's a reason why teams have given up on him as well. So again, when you don't have shooting on a team, when teams got to play zone on you consistently, that should tell you that you need some shooting. Now you want to start this rumor about getting Murray. But let's go get Murray. What Murray going to do? Sit in the corner? Murray, that's going to be a guy that's going to sit in the corner because that's a guy that needs the ball. I believe Zach LaVine needs the ball. He needs the ball in his hands to be effective. So how are you going to use those guys? That compensates more problems in the locker room. And now you want goddamn Darvin Ham up out of there. Now Anthony Davis is playing great. I love the way Anthony Davis when people say that Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid is far more better than Anthony Davis. Now I'll give you that. I say Joel Embiid is better, but you can make a case for that when AD plays, he's pretty good. He's just that good than Joel. You can make a case. You can make a strong case for that, but I'm not going to go that route right now. But other than that, Gabe Vincent, where's that guy been? This is a guy that was just in the NBA Finals. Where's that guy been? He's in street clothes. I just saw him on the bench last night, the other night in Miami when that guy Jaime Jaquez from scalded the Lakers like a scalded dog. I just saw that guy in some skinny jeans on the bench the other night. Where that guy been? So again, you want to jump up and down about the whole Lakers off-season moves and stuff like that, but you got Jackson Hayes. You just gave away money to this guy. He just running laps around the court. That's all he's doing. It's a reason why he was DMP'd in New Orleans. It's a reason why he was DMP'd in New Orleans. And like I say, it's just a mess in LA. And if you want to keep getting all these stars that need the ball, go ahead, and you're going to continue to see the same damn problems over and over and over again. No defense, no shooting. And teams are going to keep playing zone because you got no shooting. Now, Austin Reeves, whether it be B's in the starting lineup or not, I really don't think things will change because, again, when you can't play Cam Reddish and you playing Vanderbilt both on the floor, how is LeBron going to go to the rim? How is Anthony Davis not going to get double if he got them playing? And how'd you got D'Lo playing basketball if he don't play defense? If he's not going to play defense, you want to go out there and jack up shots again, and again. It's going to be every time the Lakers try to get these big stars, it's going to be the same goddamn problem over and over with these Lakers.
All right. I feel it. Coach Dante is ready tonight, y'all. Coach Dante is rested. Not ready. He rested tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple of comments here. Key says, laugh out loud. Sorry about that. I thought I pressed the button. I did not. Mo says, Golden State Warriors front office is struggling with the choice of tearing this team down and making moves for the future versus trying to make one more run on Steph's timeline. Big picture, the current team is just good enough to not make the playoffs. I could not agree more.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Key says, man, Ja dunked on Wemby, man. Ja's a monster, bro. People forget because of the foolishness, but as a basketball player, Ja's a monster.
Yeah.
And then Mo says John Collins is Josh Smith minus the talent. Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
And Josh Smith was a reckless dude. So wow. Again, I can't argue with Mo. Mo says Kuminga's talented, but he's demanding the ball on offense while not putting in the work on defense. Young talent needs time to develop, but the issue is, does their development work for vets that are in a win now mode? So to answer that, it is a fair statement, Mo. But like you just said earlier, if you're not going to bring in the talent, they're not good enough to make the playoffs anyway. So you got to develop the talent. So one of the things that I think Kerr is not good at is reaching this generation now. You have to be a guy, if you're going to be the coach and do those things, you have to be able to reach these kids now. You have to be able to pull them aside and say, look, man, you want minutes on this team, you got to do it on defense. I'm not saying you got to go out there and slap the floor every play and be a dog on defense, but you got to give effort. You got to work on that end of the floor too. If you're not going to do that, you're going to be sitting on the end of the bench. Not beside me, because I don't want you beside me whining about getting the game. You're going to sit on the far other end. Play defense, you play the game. You're not going to play defense, you're not going to play.
Right.
And Kerr has the championship pedigree as a player and as a coach to do that, and he's still going to be there. Some of these cats can't afford that, but he can. And you're not doing that. You're letting these guys come out of the media and start whining and complaining. How about you tell them why they're not playing? How about you get up in them a little bit and make them understand what they need to be doing differently? That's my take on Golden State and what the problem is. All right, and then Keith says, I wanted Udoka if we didn't get Nurse. That makes sense. I would have rather had Udoka over Nurse myself, just seeing what he did, but it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mo says, I'm not big on, I'm sick of my Lakers and their yearly built-in excuses. When they win, look at what LeBron is doing in year 21. When they lose, he's in year 21. He can't do everything. And, of course, the forever LeBron needs more help.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Hey, Mo, don't forget about that curse of Cam Whitmore, man. Don't forget about that. That's the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Mo also says PGs can't play with LeBron, which I would definitely agree with. The only one that was able to was Kyrie, and he was mad and quit. But because he's a shooter a lot too, he was able to, to make it because he could play off the ball as well and attack the goal. Mo says no more Miami Heat guards. First none, and now Vincent. Shaking my head. Rob, do better at your job. Real talk, they don't work in your system. But again, LeBron is a guy that dominates the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're taking a payday to play with a guy that dominates the ball and takes away some of the things you were able to do. Because you play with Jimmy Butler, Jimmy gave the ball up. Jimmy like, oh, you got a shot? Go ahead. LeBron like, you got a shot? I'm LeBron James trick. Right. He's still making a play. If he decide that you can get the ball, then you get it. But that's what LeBron is able to do because of who he is. I'm not saying it in a way to defame LeBron or make it look bad on LeBron. I'm just saying that's the truth of it. And then Mo says, "This guy." Oh man, but yeah, a lot of craziness there, man. A lot of craziness there. I like Houston. Coach said a lot about Houston. Dallas is surprising to me. I felt like Dallas was going to be in Golden State spot, to be honest with you, because the combination of those two cats together, Luca and Kyrie, I feel like that's just an implosion. And I mean, it still could be, but I give them props for being able to hold it together right now. In Phoenix, they're better than I thought they were going to be on defense, but I didn't have any expectations for them defensively. In LA, man, they should make a run. But the thing is, they're going to have to make some more moves. It's at this point where it's like every year the Lakers got to have to make some moves and make some changes to get where they want to be. That does get a little daunting after a while, I would say. I'm going to say daunting. All right, so then we're going to go back to the East. Same thing in the East. Number 10, Atlanta at 14-19. Number 9, Brooklyn at 15-20. Number 8, the Knicks at 19-15. Tied with the number 7 Cleveland Cavaliers, also number 19-15. And then we'll stop it there, and then we'll get to the top 6 after that. So, Coach, your thoughts on those teams?
Atlanta, ever since they went to the Eastern Conference Final, they have been an embarrassment. They don't play good on defense. We all can agree they're gonna trade Jadante Murray. They're gonna trade him, and Trae Young is again gonna be the main guy. And again, it ain't gonna work. Again, they don't play defense very well. They don't shoot efficient, good shots. It's the same problem that you saw the same 3 years ago. And again, ever since they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals, they have not been the same team, and they just been overall mess from the organization and the player standpoint. Now I do like Jalen Johnson. I think he do got some upside. I do like him as well. I do like Clint Capella, coming off their bench. Clint Capella is someone that we had that's a high energy guy, get rebounds, don't ask for the ball a lot. And the Brooklyn Nets got Mikal Bridges, who is really good. I expect them to kind of be where they at, but like I say again, the Eastern Conference, you have to be better. You got a good enough team. You got a solid coach in Jacque Vaughn. You got Cam Johnson who can shoot the ball. Claxton is one of the best young players in the NBA, centers in the NBA. You can't be struggling this really bad. Can't really struggle this really bad in the bottom of the East. I expected you to be probably one of the better teams in the East, like around that 6-5 range. Brooklyn has not played really good. So very disappointed in Brooklyn. And Atlanta, I'm been disappointed in them. I'm just tired of seeing Atlanta going out there just not playing defense, just stinking up everything, man. I'm just really tired of Atlanta. Ever since they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, that team has really not been right. You tried to bring Murray in to make it work. They're still the same team. So again, I'm not on Atlanta. I've been off the Atlanta train.
I feel it. Con, man, I know you got something to say.
All right, well, Atlanta Hawks. First of all, they got that coach Snyder. He ain't making no much of a difference as well. And they're saying that the guard tandem is not really working out that well. Atlanta, man, bad state of affairs. I mean, they're giving up 123 on average per game. So that shows you're not playing very well defense as well. It just seems like they can't get up to that next step since that year when they made the conference finals. They're gonna have some issues as well. The Brooklyn Nets, I mean, they're on a 5-game losing streak. I like their team. I mean, I think it's gonna be a little tough for them this year, but I mean, they're still playing hard. They're playing very hard, so you got to give them that. I'm watching them. I'm a little disappointed, but I think they're gonna be all right. And the Knicks, oh Lord, I think Randall. Somebody put some under his, because he's playing great lately, and they're playing well. They're playing hard. Brunson's a beast. Brunson's a flat out beast. I think that he's tough. I think with the additions that they have, I think they're gonna make a run. They're gonna make the playoffs finally. And Thibodeau was a defensive-minded coach, so I think that's gonna be beneficial to the Knicks as well. Let me see. We're gonna go with the Cavaliers. Unfortunately, they've been injury prone. Mitchell's out. There's one. They got issues again with their injury problem. But right now they're 18 and 15. I think they're gonna be all right. I like the addition of Strauss. He can shoot, which is what they needed. I like the backcourt. The front court's getting better, but again, injuries. So injuries is tough. So Cleveland, man, I think they're gonna be all right. But it's gonna be tough. But I like what I see from Cleveland, and I think they're gonna get better as the year goes on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can dig that. For me, when I think about it, man, I just look at everything and I just say these are a lot of teams that they have some issues. They have some things they need to work on, right? That's why they're where they're at. But at the same time, we're looking at teams who they're quality teams. What they have to do is be more focused, except for Atlanta. I will agree with Coach Dante in Atlanta. This team has been on a downward spiral for years, and Quinn Snyder, who looks like to me he's always drunk. It's not the guy. I think he's gonna fix it. That man look like he always got a little something in his cup. You know what I mean? I think he's the guy to fix it. But I think Cleveland, New York, and Brooklyn are teams that they could easily move up if they just get things together. You even look at records, right? Orlando's 19 and 15. Indiana's 19 and 14. Miami's 20 and 14. So you could easily be, if you're New York and Cleveland, especially right now, you could easily be in the top 6. And Brooklyn's only a few games out, and they've been 2-8 in their last 10 games. So they can get themselves together. These are teams that can also step up and compete and make it difficult for 4 through 6. Now, I think the separation last year, this year, and probably the next couple of years is going to be the top 3 and everybody else. But if you're 9 through 4, there's not a lot of difference. We saw that last year. We're going to see that this year. I think that top 3, that's where you see a little separation at. New York, we're going to see if Anunoby does what he should. He should make you a better defensive team. He should make you a team that can be a little bit tougher, right? It has a little bit more of a toughness to it. You won your last 2 games since you got him, so he has had at least a small impact so far. Maybe he invigorates some other guys. He takes some of the duties away from other guys because of his versatility. It helps you be better. You've been wanting him. Now you got him. Brooklyn, I just got to get it together. Like, ain't too much talking about. I just got to get it together. And in Cleveland, injuries, you got to get right. You got to get everybody back. Got to get playing together. We can go ahead and move on, y'all. Top 6 in the East. Orlando, 19 and 15. Indiana, 19 and 14. Miami, 20 and 14. Number 3, Philadelphia, 23 and 10. Number 2, the Bucks, 25 and 10. And then at number 1, the Boston Celtics at 26 and 7. Coach, you know how we do. What you got on the top 6 out east?
Well, I expected the Miami. They're going to be a dangerous team in playoff time. I think they're going to compete with anybody in playoff time. I think in the first round, that's one team that you do not want to face when it gets to the playoffs in the 7-game series. I think that will be fine. You got Indiana. I think Indiana is really good. I like Indiana. I like Tyrese Halliburton. He's on the merge of being a superstar type player. Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, they got something going over there. Of course, you got the New York Knicks. The OG Anunoby is a guy, that can shoot the basketball. He's one of the top 3 and D players in the NBA right now that can shoot over 37% and play some good defense. So I kind of like where they at. I think they're going to get hot. Cleveland battling through some injuries. Now you talking about Philadelphia. I seen this movie. I'm not sold. I seen this movie too many times. Good regular season, but again, when you're in that 3rd seed, guess what? You got to play Miami. You got to play Boston or Milwaukee. Especially Boston. So they look good in the regular season, but not sold them in the playoffs. I don't think they're a legit contender. Now Milwaukee and Boston, that's going to be a fight for the Eastern Conference. That should be a fight, but don't sleep on Miami. I'm telling you, when that team gets in the 7-game series, they can be hard to be put out.
Facts. We saw it last year. Con,
You know, I'm very happy for Orlando. They've been in the dumps for
Yeah,
years and years and years.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? They got some young talent. Uh, they got some franchise type players. And again, they like playing with each other. They're fun to watch. They play hard. And to me, that is a big surprise how well they're playing. You know, Indiana, I like, and Tyrese is a bad man. That boy's bad. I mean, he got 18 assists last night. That boy's bad. So, very happy with Indiana. I think they're going to be tough. I like what they're doing. And as far as Miami Heat, check this out. They gave up players, and you know who they wanted. They couldn't get them, and they're still effective. And that's where the coaching comes in again. They got the structure. They got a lot of stuff that they have still works, and they got a great management from up to the top to the bottom, and they just play well. They have a structured offense, defense, and like Coach said, in the playoffs they're gonna be tough because they've been there, they've been tested, and they got that guy Jimmy Butler. That boy, he just gotta remain healthy, which is the case for a lot of other teams. Uh, Philly got spanked tonight. I like 30 something. But they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be fine. Philly's gonna be okay. But again, they gotta get over the hump. Uh, when it comes down to playoff time, it's tough. And we wonder what MB is gonna do. If they don't make it again this year, there's gonna be problems again. But I mean, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be tough, and they're gonna be a tough team to beat. Milwaukee's tough. Milwaukee got all the pieces. I think they're gonna be very good to be dealt with. And y'all know I hate the Celtics so damn much, but you got to give. I do. I hate them, but they're playing very well. They got everything. Porzingis is playing out of his mind. Tatum's a killer. Brown's killing them, and they're just playing well. I hate to say it, man. They're playing good, and if they stay healthy, watch out. I mean, and know something, they got to prove this year that they have to win. They have to prove it, and I think that they will.
I feel it. I feel it. When I look at that top, I'll keep it short and sweet. When I look at that top, I mean, I already told you my thoughts. 6, 5, and 4. You battling with 9, 8, and 7 for who's going to be the top 6 and who's going to be the 3 that's going to be, in that play-in. Then you look at like Atlanta, Chicago, maybe Toronto, right? Those are the ones that can get that last spot. Brooklyn may fall into a 9-10 type situation, 9-10, 11-12 type situation if they can't turn around, but I have faith that they are going to be able to. But it's really interesting. You look at the top 3. Is it going to stay the same throughout? Because Milwaukee's knocking on the door for Boston. They got a couple of more losses right now, and only one more win. But any team, long NBA season, couple of losses, you one of those top 3 teams, really one of those top 4. If you kind of slide Miami in there, you got to keep winning, right? You got to keep winning. And also, I completely agree with Coach Dante. Regular season, Miami might be anywhere from like 4 to 8, 9. But when them playoffs start, we already know what it is with Miami. And Philadelphia. Oh, Philadelphia. Y'all know how me and Coach feel about Philadelphia. All I'm going to say is, whose fault is it this year, Joel, if you don't make it? Is it all the other guys not playing? Or is it finally going to be Joel ain't doing what Joel needs to do?
Or is it going to be Nick Nurse's fault? But right now, the Nick Nurse looks real good, but let's see what happens in the playoffs. You gonna want another coach fired too because of Joel Embiid ain't stepping up and doing his damn job. You gonna want him fired too, I guess, huh?
I've said this a lot tonight. I said this a lot when I do shows with Coach. I mean, he's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? All right, then we go to the Western Conference. Top 6 in the West. New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings. Well, New Orleans Pelicans 21-14. Sacramento Kings 20-13. LA Clippers 21-12. Denver Nuggets 25-11. Oklahoma City 23-10. And then Minnesota Timberwolves 24-9, number 1. And what's funny is Denver's third, right? because of win percentage, but they're only a half a game back of Minnesota. So it's
Mhm.
kind of funny how some of those things work out. And Oklahoma City's a full game back, but their win percentage is a little bit higher. Um, so kind of funny how those things work out. But if y'all wouldn't mind, I'm gonna slide in first on this one. I'm gonna start at number 3 with my boys, Denver Nuggets, 25-11. Everything, man. Talk about it. It's not the same win rate at this point they had last year, but it's something to consider. When you are the champion, everybody's gunning for you. You play San Antonio, you play Detroit, you play Charlotte, you play Portland, any of those teams at the bottom, or anybody else. Everybody is looking at you. Washington, you know what I'm saying? Memphis, all those teams. Everybody's looking at you and saying, they getting our A game this year. And this is a long season. So for them to still be in that top 3 right now, I like where they're at. I like the fact that they still got time to move up. I also like the fact that they start falling off. It don't take but a couple of games, and you're gonna be moving back down toward number 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to stay competitive. You have to continue to win. And Jokic, these last few games, missing 8 shots or 4 shots in the last few games. I forgot exactly what it was. Had it earlier, but the stat got mixed up in my mind. All good. But he ain't missed a lot of shots in the last few games. Put it like that. And that game winner that he called, oh, that was sweet.
Yeah,
So
it was.
he's putting up MVP numbers. He's playing like an MVP. The thing is, are you going to continue to do so? But I believe Jokic is. He's shown that he can. Murray's there. MPJ's kind of MPJing it, but you've got Watson stepping in, the young boy, and kind of doing it from time to time. You got some other players stepping in, Brown, different guys being that fourth guy. Because Aaron Gordon, AG, man, a lot of shout outs to AG, man. AG deserve a lot of props because he's a defensive dude, but he also gets it done on the offensive end when you need. So shout out to AG, man. Aaron Gordon, he should get a lot of props when you start talking about Denver and them being good and being effective. Clippers definitely ahead of where I thought they would be. I thought the addition of James Harden was going to really, really wreck them. It did for a while, right? But they're 8-2 in their last 10 games, tied with Denver and OKC for the best in the West in their last 10 games. So it's working. They figure out a way to put it together. Shout out to Tyronn Lue. We talk about coaching a lot. Sometimes you got all these personalities, all these egos, and you get certain guys that can work with them. Minnesota, we know what it is with Minnesota. Minnesota has that dude that is a dog, and Edwards. When he got drafted, people was like, "Oh, don't draft him number 1 because he ain't really committed to basketball and blah this and blah that." He said, "I'm committed to basketball." They still kept talking. Minnesota said, "Skip all that. We taking the best talent out there, and it's paid off." That's what happens when you go with the top guy that you believe in and don't worry about all the outside noise. OKC, they got SGA. As long as they got SGA and some other guys playing, their team gonna be fine. Sacramento, been loving them since last year. They're still doing what they're supposed to do in New Orleans. When Zion plays, this guy's a force. But Memphis won thanks to New Orleans because Ja is consistent unless he gets suspended. So that's my thoughts on that top 6. Con, we'll go ahead and go with you, and then we'll let Coach Dante close out the thoughts because we know Coach Dante gonna bring the heat. That's why he's a sports library.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start with the Pelicans. Zion, needs to get on a new diet, but if he comes healthy, I think they're gonna be very tough. Ingram is a beast, and they're gonna be all right. I like what they're doing right now. They won 4 games. Last 4 games, they're doing pretty well. Now, Sacramento, they've been there. Last year, they gave Golden State a run for their money. I think they're ready. They've been there. They've done that. And they got that bad boy Fox. He is dangerous with that left hand. Really, I like his game, and I think they're going to be a team you got to be dealing with as well. Clippers, they're playing healthy. Kawhi is playing great. And of course, I mean, I think they're going to be okay. I like what they're doing as well. I think that they're well coached, and then Harden's been very effective. So when it comes playoff time, when you need a basket, you got 3 versions you can go to. So I mean, they can't double team too many people. I think Harden, he's accepted his role. I think he's fitting in real well. You don't hear no complaints about him. He ain't trying to leave. So I think that's going to be beneficial to them as well. Clippers, it's their time. They just step it up and do the damn thing. We got Denver Nuggets, Coos team. You got to like what they are. They've been there. They've done it. They're well coached. The only thing is, it's tough to repeat in the NBA. If you know, it's very tough to repeat. So I think, of course, they're going to be there at the end. But again, it's very tough to repeat. So I don't know how far they're going to go, but you better watch out because they're a very tough team. And they got that big man in the middle who can do everything. He's incredible. Some of the passes he make, I don't know how he does it, but they're going to be dangerous as well. Oklahoma City, I predicted how well they were going to. That's about the only one. Holmgren, whatever his damn name is, he's playing great. And the fact is they got GA, tremendous player. I think they're going to be great. I think you better watch out for them. I think they got a lot of potential, and they're going to be a team that's going to be very hard to deal with. Minnesota, they're playing a lot better than I expected. I mean, the two big guys last year, they were wondering what's going on, and even Coach's boys playing pretty well. Even Coach's boys playing pretty well. Mr. No-Show's playing okay. He's doing all right, and effective so far. And they're good, man. So they're going to be good. I think Minnesota's going to be in the playoffs. I think they're going to make a run. They got a tough team. They got some offensive weapons, and I mean, defensively they're playing pretty well. So I think they're going to be all
right. So the key, Mr. No-Show playing well in what? The regular season or the playoff? What does he play well? Yo, you're right. He plays well in the right now. And what this is right now, the regular season, not when it matters.
Coach can become him baby Embiid.
We can call him that. He's talented. He's gonna get you 24 and 11, but in the playoffs, he's gonna find a way to shut down and get outplayed. I'm not sold on Minnesota. I think Denver will beat them in a 7-game series. If the Clippers are healthy, I think the Clippers will beat them in a 7-game series. If they're healthy throughout the whole season. The Clippers are healthy throughout the whole season. I believe they can do some damage. If they're healthy throughout the whole season and the playoffs, they can do some damage. Sacramento, I think this is the year you got to win a playoff series. You already lost the playoff series versus Golden State, so you got that experience. This is a year you got to figure out a way to win a playoff series. OKC, we all figured that they will break at some point with all of that draft capital, but also the development of that young team is really good with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams from Santa Clara is really good. One of my favorite guards coming up out of that draft. You also got Trey Mann who can shoot the ball, and you also got what's that dude Isaiah Joe, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. In Philadelphia, they know well about Isaiah Joe, huh? Get a talent away, and then they go somewhere else and compete and play well. He's one of the best shooters in the league. Long as Zion Williamson can stay off that gumbo and get in shape, and New Orleans gumbo, I think New Orleans can be pretty well. But other than that, Denver, not worried about Denver. I think Denver is going to be that when it matters the most. I think they're going to be that when it matters the most. Of course, you're going to give every team's best fight when you're the defending champions. But Minnesota, I think they're going to go on a losing streak at some point. Every team goes on hits that wall. But in the playoffs, if I got to trust Mr. No-Show, you're a damn lie for me.
So Mo says Cam Whitmore was supposed to be in purple and gold. And then Chris is in the building. What up, Chris? Chris says the gumbo is hard to say no to. Hey, for Zion, it's extra hard to say no to. Yeah. I think them beignets getting him too. I don't think it's just the gumbo. I think them beignets is a part of it too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He been out there partying too much on the streets of Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He out there downtown having a little bit too much of a good time. But yeah, man. So, we wanted to kind of get on, episode 1. The people know Courtside View. We doing the thing. We back. Catch us here every week. Con, we'll start with you. Any last words? We'll let the people know where else they can find the Con Man.
Well, first of all, again, I'm I want to thank you for inviting me on the show again. And of course, I'm here with my boy Coach, so we're going to be doing the damn thing. And I want to give you your props as well. I'm looking forward to the show. I think we're going to have one of the best damn podcasts going. As far as myself, right now, I'm very busy because I got my show Sports Corner with the Con Man on the Sports Wave Network. I've got some great guests coming on, and looking forward to doing that. And I'm thankful for you guys for giving me the platform. I really enjoy doing what I do. So I want to give a shout out to you guys, and I hope people tune in and check us out.
All I gotta say, check us out at the Sports Wave Network, man. We got some big things coming up soon. We got some big things coming up, man. We're gonna keep up with the grind. Y'all can check me out on the Sports Wave Network, man.
Hey, I'm Summer everywhere. I'm gonna just say, make sure Sports Wave Network, like Coach Dante said, make sure you on, make sure you checking us out, make sure you making things happen. You know what I'm saying? You want to do something in life, man, whether it's podcast or something else, you got to get to it. You know what I'm saying? You may not know everything at first, but you got to learn. That's what we've been doing. Get into it, just learn it. And remember, I always close. Make sure you tell 2 of your friends and 4 of your enemies about what we got going on over here. Just because they don't like you doesn't mean they won't like us. And with that said, we're going to be taking care of things for the evening. Ending. Make sure you back next week. We're going to be back. Sports Wave. We riding it this year. Let's go.